Welcome, Geoff Fienberg Show, Wednesday night edition here on FTNDaily.com, presented by Prize Picks here on the Wednesday night, getting you set for the Sony Open in Hawaii, NFL Divisional Round Playoffs on the go. I'll be joined by Axis DFS from FTN in a little bit. We could take your questions in the chat. Excited, first full field event of 2021 here on the PGA Tour. I got very rarely do I actually have a bet in, say, NBA on the go, but I got one right now, which I'm tracking on the Memphis Grizzlies, who are having a fire fourth quarter at the moment. So I'm going to watch that one come down to the finish. Hopefully they could bring that one home for me. PGA Tour, Sony Open this week on the out in Wailea, short par 70 course, sort of, how do you put this? Liking to play the guys who played last week at the Tournament of Champions, and there's a lot of guys that bring sort of a course fit here to Wailea. Always helps when, I don't really care so much how a guy may have finished at the Tournament of Champions, but if he showed life through the weekend, that is a good sign. I'll be getting into my outright card shortly, and maybe Axis can tell me where I got it right, where I'm going to get it wrong, as he is off his big Harris English victory last week. So credit to him. English was a good number, but I wasn't betting him, so I don't really feel the pain in that one. And there's another player this week who's quite popular, similar betting number, I guess, very good form. Other people are betting him. I am not. Maybe I'll get told that I'm going to miss this one, but we'll get into it shortly. Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN. Promo code FTN, 100% instant match bonus up to $100, friends. No mass multis. It's you versus the projection. Prizepicks.com. I noticed they had their golf numbers up earlier today. I saw some good numbers. I wanted to play them. I thought I would just play them later. And what do you know? You missed them, or I missed them too, I should say. My original leans on the day when I sent them in, Daniel Berger to clear his 2.5 point projection, and Kevin Kisner to clear his 2.5 point projection. I felt those numbers were soft at Wailea this week. I guess so did the rest of you and the family over at Prize Picks, because we have bumped those up to 3 points. I'm still going to get in on them this week, I guess, playing 3 points. I know the boys made me the graphic. The lines move in real time. Not much I could do about it. I'm more upset that I didn't actually play it myself. And Mark Andrews over in the NFL this week is something that I am looking to get on. I believe Lamar Jackson will. It's a tough game to call. I'm not anywhere going really near it with a strong opinion on who I believe will pull off the outright. Tough game. I do believe line value on the Bills, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to use my Prize Picks power play, and I'm making a multi-sport ticket, golf and NFL, and it's Mark Andrews to get over his 13-point projection. I'm expecting a really high-scoring game this weekend. High-scoring game this weekend in Buffalo, Saturday night. I don't know. Geez, I made Rob into my weatherman last week. Maybe I'll do it again. Western New York weather, Saturday night. Also Saturday afternoon in Green Bay. Should be some cold ones. But my power play that starts off tomorrow and will finish on Saturday with the National Football League. Daniel Berger over 3-point projection. Kevin Kisner over a 3-point projection. And Mark Andrews over a 3-point projection. Over a 13-point projection in that one. I guess now I'll get into my PGA Tour outright card for the week. Some similarities on this one to correlate, I guess, to the guys who I am using in Prize Picks, who I do expect to get off to quite a good start in that one. Daniel Berger, got in on this at 20-1 before the Patrick Reed, or I guess I was leaning Berger or M, had that decision to make, thought I could take a couple days to make that decision, but Patrick Reed had his withdrawal. And the numbers just tumbled sort of instantly. On a lot of guys. And guys withdraw before, but this Reed number, I don't know whether it's earlier in the year and the books are like protecting themselves. I don't know what, it's one guy in a big field. I know he was under 20-1, but this is one of the more drastic effects that I saw, sort of a consortium of players literally lose numbers quickly because Patrick Reed withdrew. And Patrick Reed wasn't the favorite. He wasn't the second favorite. He was probably the third favorite. The more I think about it in this one, he was probably the third favorite on that board this week. So I want to load up the Periscope chat because I knew I was delinquent in doing that. I guess that's what happens when you're trying to keep an eye on a wager, friends. What's going on there? Grizzlies 106.99. Yeah, NBA talk from Fienberg. No. Just playing a tip. FTM bets, all the goodies are usually in there. Hello. So yeah, leave your questions because Axis will be in here. We'll be going through Sony Open questions, but Berger was forced to make that decision quickly, faster than I wanted, but I feel confident in it. If Sung Jae wins, hey, them the breaks. He's Anderson's one and done though. So what are the chances he's actually gonna win, right? Few and far between. Anderson's one and done. Is Sung Jae. So yeah, Berger is my pick. He had mentioned that his ball striking felt the best it had been in his entire career. Or maybe since he was at his peak forms earlier, but he's fully back. I'm in on Berger this week. Wet conditions, gets windy, his low ball flight can work. Seeing Sung Jae's name rising through the leaderboard this week will probably grind my gears, but that's where we are. Daniel Berger is my guy. Going farther back on the board, there were names that interest me. Joakim Niemann was one of them, but I had to pass. And you know what? Before I sort of, I'll get into that with actually Access. That's so fun. I have Access. I don't have to hammer through some of those golf thoughts I have right now because I got someone to share them with. I could make the case. I'll see what Access says. Can you make the case Webb and Morikawa are kind of being undervalued? I haven't seen much love for them from the betting perspective. Maybe they'll tell me that they've seen something that I haven't. We all know how good they are. I could argue that 14, 15-1, is that the number? Maybe it's 12. Could represent a bit of value potentially. I'm not betting it, so there it is. But now that Berger and these other guys got knocked down so hard on the outright, you're just a couple points to get Morikawa. I mean, if I was coming in now, that'd be something I'd have to reevaluate. But those aren't things I sort of have to pay attention to because my bets are in earlier in the week. It's the magic of doing recording with Mayo. Once upon a time, before I did stuff with Mayo, I never, I don't know, wouldn't even look at a golf board till Tuesday afternoon or something, potentially. Late, early Wednesday. But hey, it's this thing. The golf content dies the second that tournament tees off. So I get it from that content creative standpoint. So farther back, my next two picks come in Answer and Kisner. I was able to get Answer at 30 and Kisner at 32 up here north of the border at a couple shops. Those are the two guys. Bermuda, par 70. Short little course, works perfectly into both of their skill sets. Kisner, he had that great little comment today at his presser that's sort of gone viral. He knows which courses he can win at. And he's confident there's courses that he can't win at. And then the sort of a silly follow-up. So why do you go play? Well, they pay a lot of money. He said 20th, but these guys make a lot of money for 50th. Yeah, it's true. Some of the events don't even have cuts. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to look at all the questions once I get access in here. Maybe we should try to keep them golf centric. But yeah, Kisner, Answer, and Munoz. Munoz, I bet this week as well. He's coming on, had 3 sort of very good statistical rounds to finish up at the Tournament of Champions. Feel like I had a top 10 here a couple years ago. I'm in on the Munoz train this week. So I'll break all those down with Axis. I guess quickly I should mention there is some, well, I want to say I feel like the Chargers head coaching search is down to 2 people at the moment. And when I'm done with Axis, maybe I'll finish the show sort of talking about where we are there. Giving my harder opinions on that one. 2 people, it seems like. Daboll, if we're looking offense, and Brandon Staley, Rams defensive coordinator. Young guy. Also played college quarterback. So apparently he really impressed with what he brings to an offensive side of things. But we have been slow to start round 2 of our interviews, which I need to consider a positive, because I believe the guys we are earmarked, I would also even include Bieniemy, although people that know more than me are telling me that might not be the case, that the Chargers might not be too in on Bieniemy. That's its own side conversation, because that's too much for me to handle. But it's absurd, right? The guy's got to be a coach. And the Chiefs, being amazing hurts him because he can't be hired kind of before it's done. And it's hard for him to have a genuine interview process and teams get worried. I don't know what to say to that. Like, a couple weeks is going to impact a decision that has like 4 or 5 year, 8-year ramifications. If you hit a home run, it's like decade-long ramifications. If you really want the guy, you're going to wait. So I'm not just talking about the Chargers. It just seems to be this league thing. And gosh, guys, if 7 jobs go through and Bieniemy doesn't get one, I don't know, man. That's going to be a bad offseason talking point. And it's going to be filled with merit as far as I'm concerned. I don't mean merit that he's being passed. I mean merit that there's legitimate something is up for him not to get this job. Because you watch the games, you watch them closely. I mean, I don't know anything. I'm not in the Chiefs building. I'm not even a Chiefs fan. So there's Chiefs fans that will probably know way more than me. But the way you just see this guy conduct himself at press conference in his weekly obligations, or at on the sidelines in games, seems like he's dictating and leading and getting in the faces of high-profile players that are on the Chiefs. I mean, it's hard to coach the Chiefs without interacting with high-profile players. But he's not afraid to get into it, to be forceful with the best football player on the planet and his sidekicks, like Kelsey and Hill. So that'll be a real bad situation. What's going on here? Woo! Grizz up 11 with 90 seconds left. That's what I'm talking about. They were down big. I'm no NBA. They were down. They're winning the 4th quarter, 34-13. Oh, loser Timberwolves. Okay, that's about it for NBA talk. Maybe until the playoffs. Although once NFL ends, happy to do it. Would love to throw down. Hockey starts tonight. I got thoughts on some hockey things, some betting theories that are based nothing to do in hockey that I'd like to run by, say, a Chris Meany. Maybe we'll do that next week. Maybe I could throw them at Axis because I know he's a big Red Wings fan and I guess a big hockey fan. But what is if they're playing an MLB style schedule, and by that I mean, COVID, it's a smart thing to do. You go into one city and you're playing back-to-backs like versus everybody. Or I don't even know so much as back-to-backs. but you're going to play, like how in baseball, you go to a town, you play 3 games. You leave town, you go to another town, you play 3 games. Same teams. And then you go home and you play teams for 3 games. Series. I could be wrong, but I do think hockey is doing that this year. So I feel like, I don't know, a team loses those like first 2 games. 8 teams make the playoffs. Hockey's so pitter patter. Let's get at her. Team loses 2 games. You guys message me on Twitter because we'll bet that team that lost 2 in a hockey thing in that 3rd game. It could be crazy. Great team wins 0.66. I might have missed the original comment. Yeah, okay, so I don't buy into Bieniemy at all. And even Borman says, yeah, there are reports that he hasn't interviewed well. He doesn't interview well. And that's a problem. People on the outside just want to say, like, I get it too. Like, oh, look at this, what happens. Don't worry about how he interviews. You want these like billionaires, you gotta like impress them. It's just like it's like, I don't want to call it sad, but it's just a reality of life. You're gonna go into a room, you want a billionaire to hand you control of his toy. It's like literally, like, imagine having a sports car worth like $1 billion and say, here, you get to drive it. My dad had nice cars. I'm putting this on there, and like people, like, I'm not a car guy. I'm not like into cars. Cars don't do anything for me. But I never like had an urge to like look in the garage and like drive one of my dad's cars. Never. I don't care. Civic is fine. Like, I don't care about cars. But like, you show me some like fake piece of like sideline merch, like those knockoff Korean jerseys. Get that out of my face. I'm a snob about that. Get that out of my face. No. Access. FTN Daily gonna join us right now. Brandon DeCourty.
What's going on?
How you doing? I'm just sort of rambling there. Did you hear my NHL gambling theory?
I heard some of it about the
Are they
MLB
playing
style.
in series? Are they playing in series?
So what I've seen from the Red Wings schedule is they're playing at least 2. I don't think it's any more than 2. I think they're going to do like every other day, it seems like.
Okay. I'm going to, I don't know. This is risky.
I haven't bet the NHL in a couple seasons.
Yeah, I don't really like wanting to bet hockey and those stupid shootouts to me.
Right.
I like to bet games. I remember when I last bet hockey, I even liked betting that like if it went to overtime, we're done. Like,
yeah,
I'm a draw.
The regulation bets. Yep.
Regulation done. I don't care. Like that
Soccer
overtime,
style.
It's fun, and I get how they want to get a winner, but yeah. My point being is, I feel like betting teams on the second legs that lose the first ones. Because isn't those just like home and homes kind of split? I know these are homes, not home and homes, because there's no like travel. But I feel like you go into someone's barn for 2 days. I don't know. In like this regular season, it's hockey. There's a lot of playoff spots.
Right.
3-point game. I don't know.
I'd feel like curious to see what coaches are doing.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch and have to follow enough
right?
hockey to like be in on this.
See,
so I feel like this is a theory that like you got to like do it, and it's going to be like this daily grind because every day someone's playing the second leg of something they played the day or 2 before.
It's too much. That honestly, it's one of the reasons I don't bet it anymore. It was so much for me to stay on top of. I didn't even have a huge edge. So now I pretty much just watch the Red Wings. I hardly even follow the league as much as I used to.
Listening.
Like, golf consumes
to
me.
The Leafs game on the radio coming home a couple hours ago, and I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah.
Outside of like
rosters,
7-8 players, I don't know who had. Joe Bowen, famous like Leafs announcer, but I don't know who's got the puck.
Right.
Like, is he saying names and I don't know who they are or what team they are, and unless they pass it to like Marner's, Matthews, Nylander,
right.
Tavares, Riley. I'm sure there's Leaf fans like rolling their eyes at me, but I don't care enough. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I'm with you. The
People
turnover.
are probably annoyed that I've
I
done
skipped
this.
the bubble.
People are probably annoyed that I did this for 3 minutes, so I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know. First full field event. I didn't do any DraftKings last week because sometimes I don't even like doing them for WGC. So I'm certainly,
right.
East Lake or TOC. I don't care. I like to think in my own brain that like part of the fun is just like doing the cut stuff and like having a lineup that's like a 50 duplicate. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Even though getting 6 through the cut is hard and I do it infrequently, it's still just how I like to do it. I try to get cocky with shitty players. That's how I like to build. That's part of the fun. It's easy. And like most of you, what happens is the shitty players that you're paying so little for end up overachieving. And the guys that you put so little thought into other than you could like rely on them end up letting you down. But here we are, full field golf, time to lose money.
Yeah, last week I just play the showdowns in those. Like, so the WGCs, Tournament Champions, I just focus on showdowns. It's pretty much, those short fields anyway. It's like a showdown after the cut. So it's so it is nice to get back to a cut sweat here. Those are the best.
You are coming off a winner.
Yes. So Mr. Harris English, it felt good. I bet him, I don't know how much last season in general, but I was pretty high on him making whatever fix he did to his driver pretty early. And I was kind of disappointed in a few where he didn't pay off, but it was finally nice to, had a little help in the playoff. I thought he was going to win it in regulation though. So that was nice.
And Mayo talked about it a bit when it happened and sort of through the offseason before this victory. He had arguably the most impressive second place finish of the year. The one where DJ just ransacked, but it was a FedEx Cup event, and he was so clear in second, but DJ's
still lost by 8.
Yeah, D loses by 8, and that's a game changer. Winning this is a changer now, and everything works for him, and we're excited. Okay, so quickly, there's golf I could talk about. We're going to talk about. Mayo's tried to make the case with me that this week it's Ryan Palmer playing the role of English. Form, all this. I'm not there. Turn this into a soundbite. Make fun of me. I bet other losers not to win golf tournaments. I'm not betting Ryan Palmer. Rather bet Adam Scott. Rather bet Sergio. These are guys I'm not betting. Rather bet Sergio Garcia. Obviously, I'd rather bet Kisner, who I am betting in that range. You could probably pick other guys in the 50s that I could probably pinpoint to say, no, outright winning the golf tournament, I don't bet Ryan Palmer. And I understand I bet losers, but Ryan Palmer is not my loser. I'll bet my own losers.
I'll bet just about anybody if the number's right. In Palmer, it's just not there for me this week. I see 33-1 right now. I made him just about that number, but that's not enough for me to pull the trigger, especially on a guy. Yeah, like you said. I bet Harris English hasn't won in 8 years. So, and I bet Adam Scott quite a bit as well. But I will not pile on because I will also be fading Ryan Palmer.
And he might listen.
If he wins, he wins, right?
He could do exactly what Ryan Palmer's gonna do.
Not gonna miss it.
He's gonna do, except not win the golf tournament. And it's so like an unfair thing. It's like I'm not making fun of Ryan Palmer. Ryan Palmer's amazing.
It's hard to win.
Palmer's bet him top 5, bet him top 10. As Kevin Kisner joked today, they pay a lot of effing money for that stuff.
I saw that. Yeah.
As much as. And I get it. Palmer's in this great form, and now he's going to a course where it works for him. But as someone that never bets him, this is not a place I'm looking to like jump on.
No. At 33, I took. I did take Adam Scott again. I'll run that back. People look. Yeah,
And it's good to be overweight on Palmer. I'm not even insulting that aspect of it.
Right.
And now it can turn. Now people might be like, "Oh, Fienberg's on the internet dissing your one and done pick, Mayo." No, because he could have an amazing week.
He's been playing well. Yeah, it's just
I'm just not
for me
there.
Nope.
I know. I think you bet Adam Scott. I didn't, but like I wouldn't bet Adam Scott 100 out of 100 times at the same number as Ryan Palmer to win a golf tournament.
Yeah, I took Scott and I took Answer at 30, which is right around Palmer too. Like I don't know.
He's gonna win now. Anytime I get this heated about a guy and a shit.
So I should bet him now, huh? Yeah.
And he might not win, but he's gonna now make me sleep uncomfortably Saturday. People are gonna be tweeting at me shit, and it's my own fault because I just said nothing. So no, I'm not betting him. Great pick. Not betting him. But no. I'd like talk to you about it for 7 minutes.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna be building I got my reservations in my single entries. I'm excited to build later. Anything in that like $6,800 range I should be excited about.
You know, I think the two that popped the most for me down there. I believe it was, I think Nick Taylor's right around that price, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's 6,700. So I'm actually going to be using some Nick Taylor this week. And I believe Mark Hubbard was down there, caught my attention as well at 6,600. So those are the guys.
Any thoughts to Malnati?
It's the same reason I'm avoiding Kuchar, although they're different players. It's a lot of putting. Like, I guess the irons have been okay for when we last saw him. Like, they weren't atrocious. He's one of those guys
pretty good with his iron.
I know it's I guess he's just one of those guys where I probably won't play. Kind of like you and Paul. Like, if Malnati beats me and he plays well, I'll be okay. Yeah, he's not somebody I normally gravitate to. Although, like you said, the numbers aren't bad. Like, it's not terrible.
And are you on the Munoz train this week? I know you have him.
I am big on the Sebastian Munoz train. So I do have a 50-1 each way on him, which there are better outright numbers, but I wanted the each way.
I got a really good early each way.
I saw some 66s out there.
Yeah, so, no, something better. I got to actually give Eric Patterson credit for he jumped into my DMs to let me know there was a Canada friendly operation that was really off.
That's great.
Yeah.
So no, I like Munoz a lot. I hope, he's a very streaky putter. So the rest of the game is there. He's playing great tee to green. So I thought 50-1. I made him about 45.5, which isn't a ton of value, but I really did like the each way I was getting. So.
Okay, I'll go right to the top here. I kind of thought to myself, I bet me and Mayo recorded, and as literally as we were done, we looked at our phones and the Reed stuff came out like 8 minutes before we finished. I was debating, spent the show in the morning debating a Reed or in bet. Thought I could have a few days to decide on it. Once Reed goes out, I know now I pretty much have to make this decision right now, because I'm going to just lose any number. I picked Reed. Berger. I'm not regretting it. But now that the numbers are where they are, I could argue like Webb and Morikawa represent more value and are kind of being forgotten from a betting perspective on courses that they might just annihilate. Or they'll be right in it at the end versus a guy that, okay, like, I could just pick a random golfer, but there aren't head-to-heads that could appear on Sunday that you wouldn't be thrilled they're not heavy chalk. But.
Right. So Webb, I'm gonna run Webb in my one and done pick this week, and I'm not a very good one and done person. One and dones are not. I hate picking one guy, but I feel
I hate it and I suck at it.
I still do it. Yeah, it's just. I look at Webb, and like you said, I actually made him 14.5. I see him at 14 now, so very close with the book. But
which is rare, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd argue we never get true value.
And he's the best guy I made too. He's my favorite. He was at 14.5. So This course just congests everybody. It's hard to run away. We see a lot of playoffs, so that's why my numbers are kind of where, like, there are no 10-1s here in my opinion. It's just hard to pull away at this course. But
why do you think that is? Because even like the bad players,
I think they all have to play it the same way. It just because of how, it takes driver out of their hand in about 5 holes. So you're only hitting driver in about 10 holes. And on those 10, you can gain some with the distance, but you're still a lot of almost the whole field's playing this course almost the same. So it's hard to gain strokes when you're all hitting it from the same spot. I mean, unless you're on absolute fire. So it does seem like a web track. I mean, it is kind of a web track. So I figured I'd pounce on him here for one and done and let everybody else use him at his other courses, and hopefully he flounders. But it's kind of my strategy there. Cam Smith. I'm not a big Cam Smith guy. I think
I haven't put the pick in yet, but okay.
It's just it's one of those things. I'm kind of a slave to the numbers. So if not that I use my gut a little more with the outrights, but I do let the numbers kind of push me in the direction. I made Cam Smith 36-1, so not crazy off.
Hey, I got that 50 that was out on the offshore.
Yeah, sort of. Sky got that too.
With Sky, yeah, we did that.
So that's together. A good number. Like, yeah, if I could get Cam at 50, I'd bet.
But are you saying like I got to just take your 50 Fienberg and maybe pivot with the one and done?
I mean,
is that me getting like fancy early? Because I usually get way fancier, like way dumber.
So I'm trying to not be that fancy at all, which is
me neither. I say that and I tell people, like, play guys, play them.
I mean, there's 40 some tournaments. I don't even know if it goes all 40. Like,
think of the amount of guys you would have had no problem rolling had you had to at the end of the year.
Right.
That literally a year to this day, you would have like never thought you would like want or really want to use.
Right. Yeah. And
like guys will just be good.
Yeah. The form will come. Like, so I'll play good guys now. Other guys will sneak into form.
You're not going to get to the playoffs and not have golfers you like.
Right. There's only 40 events. So you can play the top 40 golfers in the world today. And if you looked at all of them, you're like, yeah, that guy could win. Like, so
I don't know, like a year ago, like Morikawa, English.
Right.
You could argue even Berger wouldn't have been much on your radar to use. I don't want to go that far because
but you'd have to pick your spot when everybody else was. Like everybody used Berger at St. Jude or something. So like they're more viable now at any course they've been, and more of those guys will happen. So I'm gonna give it a go.
I mean, you know what though? The thing is, last year might have been like an anomaly.
Yeah.
In the sense that you like Scheffler, Morikawa, Wolf. Although you would have probably gone into the year thinking I could roll all these guys. Like I say that, but they all like half of them won.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I take it all back. Whatever. I live by my initial point. Play the good players all the time.
I mean, you can find someone in the top 50 in every event to play. Top 50 in the world, if that's all you wanted to do. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Not get too cute. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, not get too cute.
I say that now. We'll see who I'm playing in 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The American Express next week?
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I'll get like super. No, it's Pat. Like, don't worry, I'll be back on the path. But this week I'm gonna deviate. That always seems to happen. Let me ask. Neiman, off his great week, seemed to have been, at least somewhere I was shopping, one of the few players whose odds weren't affected by reads.
Right.
Or maybe it was just because there's more action on maybe some Kevin Kisner's. Because I don't mean I'm moving him, but I know I'm on him. And it does feel like he's a bit popular, but it's like a blind, I'm playing Kisner. Pick is, I think Neiman is also kind of being forgotten this week.
So I was hoping for a slightly bigger number. And I knew as soon as he made the playoff, obviously that wasn't going to happen, which sucks because I had him pegged for 27 and I see him at 25 right now. I haven't been betting as many outrights. I've been dipping into the head-to-heads, so I've been holding off on some of these guys where I might have fired. Like I might have taken a shot at him. But yeah, like I said, I kind of just am sticking with Scott Answer and Munoz in that area. But Neiman definitely caught my eye. Like his price on DraftKings seemed crazy to me as how expensive he was, but he's been playing well. I mean, I think he deserves it. And people forget how young he is too. Like it's only going to keep getting better. I mean, it's crazy, but
yeah. I took him in our fantasy league. I think he's gonna have listen, people are already excited for major futures. I'm not there. That's not
yeah. I think
but
I've got 2.
I do think his place in the game it's gonna be more defined when this season is over. I'm not saying he's like gonna win multiple times. I'm not like even there. But I think we're going to include him in those conversations.
He's forgotten
when trying to determine the order of those younger golfers. And I think a lot of it would just be maybe personal preference week to week, but it's fun and certainly exciting that we are now here. How much did Skylar, you'll have to pronounce Buddy's name for me, but has he like convinced you to bet the Japanese phenom
Takumi Kanaya?
Because I'm sure he's got him every which way.
No,
he as far as the outright or just like every other prop available.
I don't think he bet him out. He might have T20'd him, and him and MJ Dafu.
Higher than T20. Higher than T20.
Him and MJ Dafu are his two. Every Monday, I just wake up waiting for these texts on who are the guys from the KFT or the Asian tour who are making the jump or something this week that I haven't heard of that Sky's going to tell me I need to bet, which I never do, and I give him crap for it all the time. But I mean, they pay off here and there. It's I miss some, and he wins some, and it's all fun. But this Takumi Kanai kid, I did use him. I built quite a few lineups actually this week on DraftKings with the sweat coming back of the cut, and I did play about 6% of Kanaya, so I do have a little dabble.
Okay, a little dabble.
And Sky sprinkled the outright, so yeah. I won't bet them. It's just not. I don't bet those guys if I don't really have a lot of data, but I will risk them in DraftKings.
So who, I guess, from a DraftKings perspective, you mentioned a couple of those Canadians before, but who would maybe in under 6,800, but who are you looking to pivot off of that you're in that like low 7 range that you're thinking would be pretty popular?
Low 7s. See, yeah. So the one guy I dislike the most is Kuchar, but I don't know if people are actually going to play him. But in the low 7s, I mean, who do you think will be popular down here? I didn't really see anyone that stuck out. I do have I bet you I'll be overweight on Tom Hoagie this week.
Yeah, Hoagie, I've seen his name in a few places, but I don't mean it like he's gonna be popular.
So I guess Russell Knox, I won't have much of him. I've seen his name floated on Twitter quite a bit here. But I will not have much.
It's like an echo chamber. That doesn't mean like I could just see 2 tweets in like 2 hours.
Right.
And think,
yeah.
Like everyone's on.
I guess
like,
Discord.
Hoagie, I'm seeing Hoagie, which is probably not the case at all.
Yeah. All I know, I haven't projected at like 8%, and I'll be closer to 18%. So I'll hoping to beat the field by 10% on him. Him and JT Poston actually both I'll have hopefully ahead of the field.
Poston, eh?
He's another guy the model likes.
I don't mind Jake.
Short game wizard. It's a short game.
You could talk yourself into anybody,
right?
Because it's Wiley.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. My bets are like between 20 and 50 to 1 on guys that played last week.
Yep, that's all I got.
That's just where I'm betting.
230s and a 50 for me this week.
If I miss Morikawa Webb, I don't know what can you do. And
nothing.
Something comes from behind. I don't really bet there, so I don't think that I'm going to miss anything that's going to bother me.
Nope. I've been running everything between. I do all the live betting now. So like if I miss someone early on, I don't care if I have to take a smaller number later if it's still decent value. So I don't need to jump on anyone who's 150 or 200 to 1 now. I just don't see it here right now. So I'm happy with the 3 between 30 and 50.
Next week, though. Next week may be like, right?
Wild stuff happens at American Express.
But no Pro-Am.
Yeah. Next week will be interesting. I still have jitter. Adam, it was Adam Long. Crushed my soul there.
That wasn't no, but Landry was last year.
Oh, Landry was last year. That's right. Yeah, it was forgettable,
Landry
I guess.
beat Answer because I had
yes, that's right.
Answer came in second.
Answer did come in second. Yep.
Although I don't know that he beat him but he Answer came in second.
Right.
It was all part of that President's Cup, guys.
They're quite the run there.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. All right, Axis. Brian, I will let you get out. I don't even have a clue. The Red Wings playing today? Who cares?
They don't.
Right? Who gives a shit, right?
Right. Edmonton Oilers tonight. Got to watch some DraftKings lineups, so that's where I'm headed.
Okay. I don't know. The Oilers.
I don't know many. McDavid just scored a bunch of goals for me. Thank you.
I don't want to bash hockey, but it's annoying here. Like once hockey starts, the sport networks like stop being sports networks, and I
can only imagine
they just become hockey channels.
Yep. Yeah.
That's fine. I should be used to it. Like we're in a part of the year where hockey normally is, but we've had like a whole football season without like hockey stuff.
Hockey, right?
And,
probably whatever. Nice, refreshing.
Something to do on these nights. I don't play it, but I'm sure. I don't know. Guys over at FTN are winning money. I'm convinced of that.
I'm hoping they win me some. I'm just tailing.
You see, I should do more of that.
Yep.
I don't. Yeah.
Some sharp guys, so I just do it. Whatever they say. They write it up.
I lose money betting my gut, and I win it back by following smart guys who have their numbers. Okay. Thanks, Brian.
Well, thanks for having me on, Jeff. It was a great time.
I'll do it again.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Brian, FTN bets, FTN Daily, FTN Fantasy. I know you find that stuff in him and Sky and Drew are I want to say they touch all parts. Definitely daily and bets. Yeah. Get in there. Good team of FTN golf guys. Use promo code BOLT, FTNdaily.com. I always enjoy talking with Sky and Access. They should hit up Drew. Get Drew in here. I don't know why. I have this like perception that Drew is like just, I don't know. It's not to like take a shot at Sky or Access because who wants to be busier, but I don't know. I get this perception Drew's just busier. Maybe we'll got to get Drew in here. Sony Open, while I enjoy the late night golf. Some people don't like it. I like the late start time tomorrow. I have no problem with that whatsoever. No problem at all. People want to have golf scores to look at 7 a.m. No, could care less. Full field late into the night here on the East Coast. That's perfect. That is really what I am into. I'm down for that. Let's look at these FTM bets. This Sunday, or I guess Saturday, NFL divisional round, Packers versus the St. Louis Rams. I, for one, really do want to bet the Packers, but I don't. How do I put this? Like, I have a feeling the Packers are going to take care of them, but something is keeping me from betting it. Because I'm scared of the Rams. Even in the freezing cold, even with injured quarterbacks, even without, even up against an MVP quarterback. But I don't know. I'd be really impressed if they'd win, but it wouldn't be shocked. I don't know. I keep flip-flopping on that one. These games seem hard. I do like the Saints, though. The Buccaneers can get me, but I do like the Saints. And for all that talk, I'm going to lay the 3 points. And for all the narrative that the team, the in-division playoff game, when you're playing a team for the third time and the superior team is 2-0 in the season series, and now we got to play for a third time, there's a perception that it's advantageous to the inferior team of these two teams who are division rivals. But since 2002, friends, the team that is 2-0 in the regular season is 5-2 straight up in these third times rematch playoff games. When you play someone in your division that you have this success with in the regular season. Now that's 5-2 straight up. We can crack that down even further by acknowledging that it is 3-4 against the spread. It's late here where I am. 2 young kids up early. But here's the thing. I'm going to yawn now for 5 minutes. But as soon as this show ends, I'm like wired. I'm going to have a hard time falling asleep. It's just how it is. So those teams are 3-4 against the spread. We should be like, okay, that's important, which I acknowledge it is. But when we have the spread of 3 points, I feel less inclined to want to go on that. Like, I'll look at the straight up number, the to win number, because I'll bet the Saints and I expect them to win. I expect them to cover. I wasn't impressed with Tampa on Saturday. Come on, man. I wasn't impressed with Tampa on Saturday. Now I didn't even make it to the end of the game. I don't know, man. These goddamn quarantine. At least where I am, everything's closed, and we're going to lockdown. Like Toronto's going to like a hard lockdown tonight. I think. Like midnight. We're in some hard lockdown. There's no more school. It's just homeschool. It's bullshit. There's nowhere to go. And even the weekends are long. It's like our kids are up at like 5 a.m., 5:30. And then it's like, oh, you feel like you've been up for a whole day and it's like 10:15 in the morning. Like, oh my God. And there's nothing to do today. Give me that serum in my arm immediately, please. And here in Canada, we'll get everything slow. Everything. I joke with my friends, you guys won't get this. Maybe other fat Canadians will. But like, I anticipate we get the vaccine at essentially the same rate as we got the Popeyes chicken sandwich. What I mean by that is we get everything like 8 months after you guys. Yous guys being American. You people. What do you mean you people? America. Like when something cool comes out, there's usually a good chance like we don't get it for months. It's weird. We're treated like we're neighbors, but we may as well be Siberia. That goes for USPS also. You think like Canada, I don't want to say Canada, because there's north of north in Canada, but Toronto could be in New York State in like an hour and a half, less. You guys act like we're Siberia. I don't know where I was. I'm probably left out like a really important point of something I needed to finish that wasn't sports related. And I'm embarrassing myself. Yeah. So like we got the Popeye sandwich like 8 months after you guys were killing each other for it. And that was really weird. It wasn't even that like it's fine. It's a chicken sandwich. It's like decent, above average, good fast food chicken sandwich. What a strange world we live in. That was before Corona. World just got so much more weird. And my voice is cracking. My voice is cracking. But you didn't get that monologue coming tonight. But yeah. So I'm on that timeline for my vaccine. I don't know. Summer. I hate needles. I have to get needles regularly because of some early life health issues, which are all like fine and good now. But because of them, I have to like sometimes get like constant sort of checkups and have some things checked on, which is a positive because I'm like lazy and like wouldn't go for this stuff. So I constantly like have a good reading on where I am, my health because of that. Supposed to like not knowing. So like, there's things that we do see. But I hate needles. And I tell the woman, like, don't worry, I'm just like here, like not looking. I don't want to look. And I'm just like shaking my knee, but I'm fine. This is just a routine I go through. And I find it's very calming while getting a needle to just think of like routine baseball plays. Like I'm about to get a needle, like I gotta like just look away and we're about to stab and I'm just thinking about like Cal Ripken fielding a ball. Barry Larkin fielding a ball, like smooth throwing it over to first. Just like the most mundane, routine ground ball to shortstop. Just like picture them. Baseball's such a soothing sport when done like routine. I'm weird. Don't worry about it. You're like this guy's weird. Yeah, I know. But who wants to be normal? The biggest like creepo weirdos out there. Like you probably know them. You might be friends with them, although like you hope they're more acquaintances than friends, especially after I say this. Are like people that go above and beyond to like try to be normal. No, those are the worst people. I'm friends with a bunch of not normal people, and we make fun of each other for that. That's like at least my good group of friends. All right, weird segue. Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN, 100% instant match bonus up to $100. Just you versus the projection. You can go over, you can go under. No mass multis. You're not going up against those DFS sharks. And you can play multi-sport tickets. I say it all the time. I have so much fun playing my multi-sports. Make a couple golf guys. Make a power play entry, a couple golf entries, mix them up with a football entry, throw an NBA on there if that's what you're into, a UFC, which I'm sure are fighting this weekend because they haven't fought in like 2 weeks, which is like a year for them. College basketball, hockey's back. I know Prize Picks going on hockey. Hockey! Yeah. I once got yelled at by Steve Coolius, but remind me to tell that story next time. I worked at the Score. I worked at TSN. Had to fight my ground for like it was literally like at like the like Randy Carlisle Leaf scrums in the locker room at training camp, trying to get the audio. And like people have their spots. Excuse me. Yeah, can't stand hockey media people. Trust me, I was inside the blender. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. Hockey picks on Prize Picks. I don't have any, but if you like hockey, I guarantee you there's numbers you could take advantage in there with. Mix them up with a little golf. Mix it with Kevin Kisner and Daniel Berger. Those are my guys this week. Abraham Answer. Throwing your football. Mark Andrews. Over his 13-point projection. But you have a blast. Yeah. Multi-sport. It's literally so easy to do. I'm still honestly sometimes amazed at the interface and how simple it is. Yeah. And they've already got the golf guys up for tomorrow who are teeing off later in the day. So credit to that. Even though I missed the Soft Berger and Kisner numbers, What can you do? Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN, 100% instant match bonus up to $100. Honestly, by now, I'd hope everyone listening, well, at least, return audience, has already taken advantage of that Prize Picks promotion and has played around in Prize Picks. Because again, I have too much fun making those multi-sport tickets. I get real cocky making them. Win once in a while to keep the account fueled. But you do them disciplined, there's such an opportunity in there if you could be disciplined. Sometimes I don't have it, but I think you do. I'm Geoff Fienberg. I'm out. Thank you, ftndaily.com, Prize Picks, for presenting this. I'll see you Friday afternoon. Hopefully we got some strong positions in Hawaii. I'm out.